the Talk Funny podcast. We ended up in Japan because we have the body of a great white whale, and that's not legal. Here's Mark Bailey.
Mark Bailey, Mike Miller on Talk Funny.
We're back.
We do it live.
No headphones.
Damn headphones. All right, what was the guy's name? Neil Brennan, I saw is several months ago now, his latest special, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I watched the whole thing, and my conclusion was the delivery was good. It was delivered as if it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
But all the material, I can't even think of an example now, but the material just didn't hit a note with me. His material was not as funny. The audience was laughing. I knew there were plans.
You liked him better when he was depressed?
Yeah. Mark Maron wouldn't be interesting at all if he was not depressed.
He would also not spend an hour of his podcast telling you about his mental health situation.
trying to think of an example. Neil Brennan. First of all, he's got a punchable face. It just looks like he's a snob.
Uh-huh.
He looks like, I know guys that look like exactly like him in the States, and they're snobs. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's...
How many times did you get arrested, by the way, for...
Yeah, punchable face. He gives the air that he's just better than you.
I can see that.
And then he'll tell a story and pause for laughter, and I'm like, this is the way Mike and I tell stories, and we don't even think those stories are that funny. Mm-hmm. So we went to your story. You went to the convenience store, and they didn't have the right ATM for your card, so you had to go to a different one. Am I right? Yeah, pause for laughter. Okay.
It's the pause that refreshes.
It's got to be another story. The next one will probably be good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then I went home, and I thought I had some bread to make the turkey sandwich. But I didn't have any bread. Pause.
2, 3, 4. Okay. Take a breath. Have a drink from your water bottle.
And then what happened?
Yeah.
And then I went home because I already told you 2 jokes. I don't remember these. We got to tell my violin story where I almost got the cops called on me at one of my shows. I do this thing at the end where I just channel my frustration and I take it out on this violin and I say, I got to get this violin back tomorrow. The violin's in the case. And I borrowed it, from the museum, and I got to get it back tomorrow. And then I keep dropping it.
Stradivarius.
Yeah, Stradivarius, and I keep dropping it, and so then I take it and slam it against a sofa and some other things and scream. Why did you only do 9 shows in 9 years? And I'm not talking about the violin, apparently. You say you love tacos, and then I married you, and then you don't like tacos. That's the whole joke of it. Is maybe it's not the violin that's Michelle Malazaki was at our show, and that guy came running up.
But it's the only, and we were like, "Who's this guy?" Oh, it's the waiter.
We never met you.
We never met you.
You're the second floor waiter. Nice to meet you. Have you ever met the second floor? Let me show you around. So yeah, he came running up, and then he went running down. I think the Japanese manager, not the cool Brazilian manager.
Yeah,
which we get along with fine, but the Japanese manager who wanted to charge 3,000 yen for our customers. That's not going to work. So we don't go to that place anymore. Anyway, and so audience members, as far as I could tell, they're not really going to be able to call the cops. It's not their institution.
No.
It's not their venue.
And you're not hitting them on the head with your Stradivarius.
That's the whole point. The Japanese manager came up and said, you're being violent with the violin, right? I mean, no pun intended.
And you get it.
And I said...
But you don't get it.
I said, the irony is if it was Manzai, Japanese-style comedy, I could hit an actual person over the head, and it'd be funny, and I'd be on TV.
Exactly.
I hit a couch.
Yeah.
That's a bridge too far.
That is the bridge too far. Person's head, comedy partner's head. That's acceptable.
At one of my universities, we're not allowed to actually hit the students. So
I
worked there anyway.
Oh.
Got some students that I asked for a 2-minute presentation. It's due next week, and you do the 2 minutes. They get up and they do 40 seconds. A lot of these guys are like rugby players or baseball players. And I said, I'm really glad you're not an airplane pilot. We'll be landing in Hawaii in about 2 hours. It was sooner than I thought. We didn't have the landing gear there. I'll verbally berate them and say, Kohan, where's the rest of it? Where's the rest of your presentation?
Yeah.
I know you have a smartphone. And I know the smartphone has a timer. And I know this because I told you this in the first week. Guess what? Einstein, I also have a timer, and I've been timing you. And
yes.
That was not 2 minutes. It was 40
There's all sorts of interesting things on smartphone, like there's timer, and there's actually things on the internet where you can upload your voice, and it'll give you a pronunciation evaluation. There's all sorts of things. And there's this thing called a dictionary online where you can look up words that you don't know before your presentation.
But, Mike, there's this thing called motivation, and if you don't have that, you're not going to use any of those things.
That's true. Very true. Very true.
The point I was getting at is Of course, I want to hit these guys over the head, and I can't because I'd get fired. But if you're lucky enough, you get a rugby captain in your class, and those guys are on his team, and he will hit them over the head. He's a disciplinarian. I have nothing to do with it. I didn't hit him, but that guy's getting an A+.
I just gave him a little envelope with some cash.
But I mean, he'll say, after the guy does 40 seconds, he'll say, Sensei, that didn't feel like 2 minutes. How long? It's, of course, in Japanese, but Masaka ni fun janai name tonka. Are you looking at me? And he said, Sensei, how long was that? And I said, that was 40 seconds. He said, come here. It's like a Three Stooges episode. Over the head with a textbook.
Wow.
So don't tell me we don't use the textbook. Yeah. Hit each other over the head. There's an app, I think it's in Europe, and you can download this. It started in Europe, very popular there. I think it's called Delete Me. And here's the funny thing. So delete me from all the lists and all the things that I've signed up for and all the posts that I've made, and I want to delete that. So I go through this app, and it will delete it for me. Well, how do I know that it deleted it for me? Well, they will send you a list of all the things that you deleted. So it's not deleted!
It's going to be a guy knocking on your door. You open it up, and he's got like a gun.
We had a problem down at Gotti Social Club. We tried to take care of it, and it's inside baseball. It's real greaseball crap, and nothing we could do about it. So he's gone. What do you mean he's gone? You know what I mean?
He went away. Yeah,
he's gone. And sorry, one other guy's gone too. We thought it was the 8th floor. Turned out he was the guy we wanted was the 6th floor.
What's the floor with the popsicles?
That's the 5th floor.
Okay.
That's the 5th floor. By the way, if that was my story, right? I was there for stomach ulcers, but that's the left side. On the right side is and there's no barriers. So the right side is the mental ward. So I'm walking around. We all have the same gowns on. There's no special designation. I see people coming out of the east side of the building with popsicles. I'd like a popsicle. So I go in and can I get a popsicle? Didn't you already have yours? No. I haven't had mine yet. Here's your popsicle. So I'm eating a popsicle with 2 mental patients in the hall. We're eating the popsicle. And then the nurse comes and goes, everybody back in your rooms. I'm like, no, I don't belong here. Everybody says that to the Nurse Ratchet from
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Everybody says to Nurse Ratchet, you got the wrong guy. I actually don't belong here. Yeah, just shut up and get in your room. I don't have a room. That's what everybody says. You have a room. You had a popsicle. Oh, now you don't have a room?
And you know what, Mark? And if you had gone back into the room, you might be a happier man today.
Well, my mistake was I was making jokes with her. I said, I'm actually on the other side with the stomach problems. And she goes, yeah, people have tried that before. Nice try. Who's your doctor? And I said, I actually don't know my doctor. She goes, aha. I was trying to make a joke, big mistake, with a mental ward nurse. I said, I'm not going back there. Don't takunai. I don't want to go back. Oh, you used the verb return, which means you were there before. And I said, I'm just here for the popsicles. She goes, everybody's just here for the popsicles. And she goes, it's basically with the Chuck Berry song, if you don't want my peaches, don't shake my tree. Don't want our popsicles, don't go into our ward. That's the one. You're going to pay for that popsicle on your resume.
Your life
going on your record.
Your life could have been so much different if you just answered the wrong way.
Yeah, I had a quick story about, we won't name this guy, but a guy that choked me on stage one time.
I vaguely recall that.
A comedian. You've heard of people choking on stage. You rarely hear of them being choked on stage. But
you were literally dying, but you were on the ground, not on stage.
And usually I'm supposed to kill, but this time it was a fellow comedian who was trying to kill. Oh, I had a months old now, but an OJ joke. They tried to put him into the coffin, but it didn't fit.
Oh.
So they had to burn him.
Did they put him in a Bronco for the final trip, or was it
that
like
was a slow procession with a police escort? Kind of like when he was alive. His new book was coming out. I didn't really die, but if I did, here's how I did it. The lawyers. I mean, Marcia Clark is on Megyn Kelly's podcast a lot, and I'm thinking, like, Marcia Clark, you lost.
It doesn't matter.
Why are you on?
It doesn't matter.
Consultants. Here it's expert on the Indian Wars. Is
General Custer. What do you think about the current situation in Vietnam?
What kind of arrows would you prefer to be killed with? Which ones hurt the most?
But that's the thing. Like, if you fail, once you get into that circuit, you're like pretty much on the circuit. You get the book, you publish a book, then you go on the speaking tour. You get paid by corporations to do the speaking tour. Then you become a CNN correspondent.
She's friends with Kardashians.
Why?
What happened? Name of her book. What happened? You were unlikable, and you called half the country a bucket of deplorable.
And because you thought you would win them anyways.
And you went to Kentucky and you said, we're going to close your only industry here, which is mining, and you're going to learn to code.
Learn to code.
They don't like that. Oh yeah. So Marsha Clark, she's on and she was drinking with Kardashian. He's dead, of course, now, but Dershowitz, and they all drink at the same bar. They're all buddies now. You know? And she's giving advice. She'd say, "Well, what I would do is I'd do that," and I just can't. You lost.
Yeah.
So what my OJ joke was, you know, if he did kill Nicole, I mean, maybe I could kind of overlook that. I will never forgive him for making the Kardashians famous.
Yeah, that is his biggest sin. That is true.
Otherwise, we wouldn't know who the hell they are.
That is true.
They would not be famous.
Very true. Very true.
He died of embarrassment.
Well, not really what he loved, but he died.
His daughter's house.
Oh, dear.
And with that note, Mark Bailey might know everything.